everybody, my name is Jen and this is Jen Geigley Knits. Hope you're doing well, hope you're having a great weekend. I feel like we have a lot going on here and I'll start by explaining what's behind me. Let me just show you what's behind me. Look at these guys. They're huge. They're like 48 inches, I think. So yeah, let me center myself between the turtles. Bo and Bowie found these Ninja Turtles on Facebook Marketplace and had to go get them because they were a really good deal. They're so funny. They did startle me last night because we had a big storm in the middle of the night. We had like 3 storms yesterday. 2 different times we had hail. Like it's been a whirlwind of not sleeping correctly and running to the basement for a couple of days now. Anyway, we had left these here by the couch last night and I came out to look at the weather like at 3 a.m. or whatever and forgot they were there and it scared me and I had to like stop myself from accidentally screaming in the middle of the night because these were like looking at me in the dark. Anyway, Ninja Turtles. So now we have to figure out where they go. We do have like a game room hangout area downstairs, so that's where I'm assuming they're going, but right now they're kind of hanging out up here. They have storage in their shells open. And Bowie had an idea because their arms move, and he said this could be my yarn holder. He's like, Mom, they'll be helpful. He's, trying to talk me into the idea, although we already, bought these giant Ninja Turtles. Anyway, I thought that was cute that he could be my yarn holder. But yeah, this is Michelangelo and Leonardo, and they're hilarious, and they're in our living room right now. So that's what you're gonna see in the background. But let's get back to sewing, knitting, what I've been doing this week. Okay, where do I begin? I'm gonna start where we left off last week, where I was taking all my knits to the fair. Because Erica and I took some video while we were there of the whole process and what we were doing, and I got video of everything she entered and then kind of how it works when we get there and a little glimpse of the fair when it's empty. It starts in a week, probably, now that it's August, which is nuts. Like this summer has flown by. Every part of it felt like it was just going so fast. So it starts, I think, on August 8th. And then lasts like a week and a half or so. And so we are gonna plan on going to the fair together to go visit our knits, see the big winners, like the blue ribbon winners of the fair in the knitting category, and maybe we'll show you around some of the other crafty areas like the quilts and sewing and that kind of stuff if you wanna see. So sometime we'll be doing a little fair visit. But anyway, let me show you what we did and how we entered in our little pile of knits, and I'll show you that right now. Okay, Erica and I are at the Iowa State Fairgrounds and we are getting ready to submit our knitwear in the fabrics and threads, is that right?
Fabric
and thread category at the Iowa State Fair. So the fair is not open yet. Like this is the pre-fair week, but then we drop off our stuff now and then submit it for judging and all that stuff. And you've done this before.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll drop it off and they've got like a week and a half, a couple weeks to judge it, and then you can view it on the southeast corner of the varied industry buildings. The knitting is on the 2nd floor and the quilts are on the bottom floor.
You're so knowledgeable. Also, look at Erica's dress. She sewed it with the IKEA fabric. And it's so good. I did not get that fabric. That is so cute.
It's the duvet cover.
Yes. Oh, right. You didn't get that heavy fabric.
Yeah, it's a little bit thinner.
Nice.
It's so made by Ray, is the pattern designer, and I can't remember what the pattern with the dress is called. I feel like it's Gather, but there's a good chance I'm wrong. Jen can tell you.
Okay, so Erica's going to show us what she's entering into the Iowa State Fair.
Okay, so first entry are my halibut mittens.
Beautiful.
Caitlin Hunter
Very
design.
worthy of the fair.
Okay, and then I have the DRK Everyday Cow by Andrea Mowry. And this one is very special. It's knit in alpaca yarn from Rusty Star's Alpaca Farms, which is a local alpaca farm outside of Des Moines here.
Right, that we have visited on his channel before, where we got to pet all the cute alpacas and they just hung around us and smiled.
This is my Kava sweater by Thea Coleman in, what is that yarn?
Sock Hill?
Sock Hill yarn, yep, from Rhinebeck. We saw this sample at Rhinebeck last year and I immediately bought the yarn and knit it up. So again, another special one.
That texture, I'm sorry, is so nice.
It's so good. It feels so good. This is the one I've worn the most, so I'm like, oh, I hope it's still in fair-worthy shape.
Nice.
And this is the Nocturnal.
That is the best.
The Petite Knitter.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's right. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's the stunner. This is the one you wore to whatever that, what was that? Fiberfest? And everybody was stopping you the whole time, the whole day.
This one turned out really good. This one, as soon as the pattern came out, we were at Rhinebeck and I was like, oh, I have to have that.
That's so good. What's that yarn, Moda? Did you already say that?
That's the Moda.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is nice yarn.
What the rest of that
That's okay.
That yarn is.
Oh, this.
This is, what is this? The Grapefruit Pink Lady.
Look at
Is
that.
this also Thea Coleman? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it is. I've been on a Thea Coleman kick lately.
The stitch.
And then this is in Farmer Daughter Fiber. And because I like to have memories of everything, this was bought in Great Falls in person on the way to Glacier last year. I love Montana so much, so it was good vacation yarn.
That is awesome.
That's what we got. We'll
Is that
see.
all your pieces? Okay, good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, so I spent the past 2 nights and 2 days knitting a second contrast glass sock so I could put these in the fair. I don't know what came over me. I got weirdly competitive with myself and I just wanted to finish the second sock because it is the anniversary of the sock knit along from last summer. That was this one and now they're doing the next one and I'm like, so this has been sitting there for a year now. So I made the other sock, literally finished it last night and Kitchenered it this morning. And they don't block super well. There's like this funny cable, there's like a lot happening, but I'm entering them in the fair for fun. I don't care if the judges hate them because I at least finished my second sock and I don't care and I'm happy about it. I love how they turned out. And then, so that's by Stephen West, if you don't know. Contrast Glass Socks, which was the sock mystery did along from last summer, so 2023. And then I'm entering the hat multicolored category with my color bar hat. And I just think that's the most fun use of solid color yarn, and the way that they blend this is just like reminiscent of the color bars on TV, like in the 80s that would come on at like midnight or whatever, 1 a.m. And so I steam blocked that and tried to get it in. I took off the pom-pom because it was super wobbly, and so I just decided to go with that. And then I couldn't decide what color of sweater, so I just did this Andrea Mowry throw over that I knit on the way to California last year. I too am about like the memories. And this is also Sock Hill yarn from Rhinebeck 2 years ago with Spin Cycle. And yeah, throw over Andrea Mowry. That's my color work sweater entry. And then Erica talked me into entering my Warmthness, which is my Bjork sweater from last winter. I love this sweater, but I thought it might be too weird for the fair. But you said ever so wisely, like, we want to show them cool and different knits and not the same old stuff. So I brought it, and this is the single color category for sweaters. So I'm entering that. This is La Bien Aimée, Corey Worsted.
I feel like you should get double points because you wrote the pattern.
Well, and maybe for this too. Because I decided
to
which I forgot. I have an Afghan that I did for the Jimmy Beans Madeline Tosh whatever, the yearly knit along for blankets. And so it's like a quilty, which is really in right now. All the there's so many quilt sweaters and quilt knitting patterns. But this was from 2022. Was it 2022? I think, or 2023. Their blanket knitting club, where you get a skein each month. So it's 12 skeins, and this is Madeline Tosh vintage. I'm not going to open up the whole thing, but it's just a whole bunch of blocks of all different sizes and shapes that make some different triangles and rectangles. And so that is going in the Afghan category. And that is all of my knits for the fair.
Good luck!
So this is definitely all in good fun. We're not like, I mean, you're competitive. I'm kind of competitive, but it's more against ourselves, I think, right? Not like,
yeah.
I don't know, but it's fun to see what the judges think of things. Like, tell me your experience about that in the past, like your pheasants, which I can show a picture of here because this is amazing.
I am very happy that we have this opportunity. I think that sometimes the judges have different opinions than we do. And also, you know, we are probably pushing the limit on traditional knitting, and so sometimes it doesn't end up in our favor,
and that's okay.
I am competitive, but it's a weird competitive. I try to not be. So like my mantra is it's more important that we all participate and have a great time, but like, man, that blue ribbon feels really good. I also am competitive to a fault, so definitely used to do a little bit more of the strategic knitting entries. So like toy categories have a little bit less competition, holiday items have a little bit less competition, so I would always make sure that I had entries for those. And then a few years ago, I entered this amazing taxidermy pheasant thing, which is probably one of the most amazing things I've ever knit. It's the comments just came back of, what is this? I don't understand. So the comments weren't supportive or helpful. They felt kind of mean. And so then I haven't entered in a while, and then Jen really encouraged me to enter, and we've been supporting each other again. And I'm glad that we're here. I was just kind of bummed, you know, that other people didn't see my vision, but I think we have Iowans that come from all across the state, and so I think it is important to show the amazing work that we're all doing, and I don't think we should, you know, normalize it or dumb it down to fit whatever mold we think traditional knitting should fit into. So I think it's super fun, and I'm happy that we're doing it, and it's really fun to be at the fair.
It is when it's not happening.
What are you going to eat when the fair happens?
I don't know. We don't really eat here because we're kind of vegetarians-ish, but they do have a lot of. They have fun foods every year that are new. They have the
veggie
options.
corn stand.
That's true.
So a veggie dog is always on the top of my list.
Yes.
And then on the non-veggie side, they have pickle dogs.
Oh, we haven't done that.
You can get fried or not fried, but they have meat on them. So they're like that traditional pickle wrap in Iowa. But they do like a pickle with cream cheese. So you can get spicy or regular cream cheese.
This is an Iowa appetizer.
Yeah, you can do ham or pastrami, I think.
Oh my gosh.
So it's the pickle, cream cheese, meat.
I have never had this.
And then you can either have it fried or not fried, and it's amazing. Sometimes I do both, just so I don't miss out.
We always get lemonade at Bradford's because we're friends with those guys. It's like a lot of the stuff is family owned here, a lot of the booths and stuff, and then you have like your little favorites, but I'm excited. I do feel like this is kind of like a little art show of Iowa too. I don't take it seriously either. It's just fun to have. It's going to be fun to visit with my kids and show and look at all the knits and your stuff and my stuff, and everybody's there. And then they always have like a knitting day at the fair too, right? Doesn't a group come? The Knitting Guild, I think, does spinning and weaving and knitting in the sheep barn, and then they also do stuff on that top level of the varied industry building. Yes, we should come knit maybe during the fair, because it is fun to kind of show what you do to the people that are visiting and spread the love. Yeah, I'm excited. Should we go enter our knits? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Also, the Iowa State Fair is one of the biggest in the country, and so it is a pretty big deal, even though we're kind of, we're really used to it here, but we love our fair and it's very well attended. Do you know how many people come to our fair? It's like thousands per day, right? It's like a lot.
Yeah.
And it's always really hot. And I mean, it's hot right now.
Right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. A vintagey, old-timey musical.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot. And we always have like bands, like Motley Crue's coming.
Ooh. We saw Ludacris last year. That was
I saw Alanis Morissette. So we get all sorts of fun. But anyway, we're going to go inside because it's hot.
Yes. When you get back there, I'll ask them. Yes, please do. Please do.
She designed that.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay.
So that was really fun. That was my first time entering anything into the fair. So I'd never really seen the fairgrounds like that either before things had started. And Eric had entered before, but it's been a few years for her. So it was kind of fun because I think they'd changed the process a little bit, but it was fun to go with a friend and do it together and to see what she was entering and then to see the big line of people with all of the quilts parading by and all the different not judges, but people entering all your information and checking that you had written down the right categories and that everything is correct. And then they have these rooms back there that they store all this stuff in and then they're going to display it. It's like a whole interesting thing. And I'm sure it's similar wherever you go with different fairs, but I just thought it was an interesting process. So we will keep you updated on that. Then earlier this week, my local knitting store is just like a mile or two from my house and it's called Yarn Junction. We have a couple, but that is one of the closest ones to my house. And I found out that Nitty Natty, if you know Natalie on YouTube, a lot of people watch Nitty Natty. She's amazing. If you know of Nitty Natty, she is on a cross-country road trip with her husband and her dog in their, what is it? Is it a van? I don't know what it's called, but they are on the road visiting all 50 states, buying yarn in all 50 states, visiting yarn shops in all 50 states. And I found out she was coming to Yarn Junction, my local yarn shop, on Tuesday. And I know they have their regular knit night on Tuesday, the shop. And it's always really well attended. And I always mean to go, but I never get there. So this was good to get there and to maybe get back into going to a knit night regularly. It was really fun. I had people there that I knew, and it was good to catch up with the owners and see what everybody's working on and everybody's projects. And then Natalie and Kent and Toaster came, and Toaster is the sweetest, most well-behaved dog. He came in the shop and she brought a blanket for him and he just kind of hung out by our feet and just laid there while we were all knitting, and he was so sweet and he just loved the little head pats and head rubs and attention that he was getting. But it was really nice. I have met her several times, always in New York at Vogue Knitting Live and Rhinebeck, like just here and there for little bits of time. You just kind of talk a bit and whatever and chat and move on because it's so busy and you're talking to so many people and stuff. But this was really nice and it was fun to see her here. You know, it's just kind of funny when someone comes to your town. And so I sat with her for a long time and we just talked about super normal things and looked at, our projects and talked about music and the Olympics and very normal stuff. And she's just super sweet and down to earth and really kind. And I know she has a huge following, and it's for a good reason. She has a lot of fun things she shares with her travels. It was really fun to hear about all that and how that works and stuff too. And then I was always a big fan of hers, and I found her when they were living in New York City in that amazing apartment in Manhattan. And I always loved her organization tips and her way of going about like planning knitting and her projects. I've always admired that because it's very different, I think, than how I do it. And so I really am interested in seeing her process. But it was really fun to hang out and just chat and to see everybody, a lot of friends that I hadn't seen in a long time and caught up with. So let me share a little bit of video from that here and a couple of selfies with my friends. It was a really fun night.
Isn't that cute?
Yes. Okay, what are your yarns?
Okay, so I have Nora going through, and then I have wool stock.
That's smart.
Wait,
Noro?
Yeah, I have Nora.
That's genius.
Through, and then I have wool stock in the background and my. I
That
love
is
it.
so good.
I love it.
So that was our knit night with Nitty Natty at Yarn Junction. It was super fun. They brought in Tavern Pizza from across the street in Valley Junction, which is a really good local pizza spot, and it was really nice. They had little snacks and water and treats for us. And I was looking at all this yarn and I couldn't decide. There's this yarn from Happy Hooves Farm. It's something like that. It's a sanctuary just south of Des Moines that I was trying to figure out my quantities. And they have only 2 shades of this alpaca, and I just couldn't figure out how much I needed, so I need to go regroup and plan that and go back and get some of that. But it was a really nice night, and thanks Yarn Junction and thanks Natalie for coming to visit us. It was really fun. On to things I'm working on and things I've accidentally acquired this week that helped me with what I'm working on. I did get a seam guide ruler for my sewing machine. That it's by Madam Sew. I don't know if this pops up on everybody's feed all the time or it knows that I'm learning to sew, but this popped up on my Instagram feed like daily for months. And I was like, what is this? But it is a little guide. You put your sewing machine needle through the little hole, and then there's a magnetic thing, a guide that if you have a magnetic sewing machine, the under part that goes under your foot, you know what I'm saying? It sticks there and it stays and gives you a guide. I need a guide. I'm so squirrely. I really try hard to be straight. It's tough. So I'm gonna try this for the first time, and I'm probably gonna try it with this project that I showed last week. This is the dress that's in the wrong size that I bought because I found it secondhand, and it was a really good deal. It's the Ace and Jig dress that I really wanted this fabric. And so I am gonna make a t-shirt out of this using the Sonia Phillip t-shirt pattern or shirt pattern from the Act of Sewing. And I wanna go cut this out right now if I have time. And then I'm gonna try my seam guide ruler, and I'm going to lay out this skirt. I did spend some time ripping out the bottom seam of this. I was thinking, oh, I can just keep that hem and sew the shirt together, but no, you can't do that because then it has the edges like inside. You have to flip them up for the, you know what I mean, to have a finished seam around the bottom. I wanted a nice hem. And so I did want to save this though. So I just ripped out their hem, which was really nice, but I can redo that. And then I'll be good to go. So I'm just gonna lay this out this way, trace my pattern on it, or maybe I'll fold it in half. Wherever the seams are, I'm gonna avoid the seams, obviously. Fold it in half and get my t-shirt pattern traced out. It's just a basic kind of boxy tee. And then I'm gonna lengthen the sleeves a little bit. This is like a cap sleeve situation. It'll probably be like around this size sleeve when I'm done. And I'm so excited to wear that, and I just wanna get it done. And I already have dark green thread that should work with it. I think I'm ready to go. So that's gonna be project number 1 on my list this week, because I'm trying to sew 1 thing per week this summer. Still trying to do that. I do, if I have time, I don't know if I will, I really want to get to these linen dresses that I cut out last week. And this is starting to feel like when you cast on too many projects at the same time, I have like these sewing projects piling up that I've cut out, which is good because they're ready whenever you have time. But I really want to get to these and I haven't been able to yet. But this is going to be the envelope dress in 2 different colors, same dress in green and this nice gray blue. Linen, beautiful, it's gonna be great. And this won't have the same problem that I had. If you look back a few videos ago, I made a yellow floral envelope dress. And the way it's cut is that there's a seam down the middle that you have to cut to make a V-neck. And so that did kind of mess up the floral pattern, but this will be nice because I won't have to worry about that with the solid. So I'm excited to get that going. And then I have been revisiting my sock tube bag of sock tubes that I have knitted on my knitting machine that have been a little bit piling up, accumulating. And I've decided to like pick my favorites and get them made into socks 1 by 1. It really doesn't take that long. I started timing myself and it's about 15 minutes for a toe, 15 minutes for the heel, a little bit longer for the cuff, depending. So really it's not that much time and I can fit it in. I know everything in my head of like what I need to do for my toe and heel. And so it's pretty easy to just pick it up. And then I found my extra balls of yarn that I usually reserve for doing that. So I'm gonna get going on these. And I did get 1 pair pretty much ready to go. So the way I do this, and I have a whole video that explains exactly how to do the math, but I take the tube and I'll show you the process. I'll just show you the process here and then I'll talk about it. So basically that's a really quick run through of taking a tube, which is this kind of pinky purple color. So this was 1 long tube, obviously. And then I split it exactly in half, like I will count the rows. And then you unpick, cut 1 stitch and unpick around. But before you do that, you put your needles in so it's ready to go. And then it divides it into 2. And then I always knit cuff next, then the toe. You cannot cut in the heel until you have the toe done. Like never ever do it out of order because you have to measure for your foot length from the toe or it will not work. So I do cuff, toe, and then I wear a size 8.5, so I measure 7.5 inches from the end of the toe, like really accurately, mark where that ends up, and then I unpick and cut 1 stitch to cut in my heel, and then you leave a tail on each end inside to kind of weave in later. And I also leave 2 stitches unpicked or like unpicked knit on each side to kind of make sure there's no hole on the sides of the heel. And then now I'm ready to knit in my contrast color. And then I have to still do this one. So this one is the one that I haven't done yet. So I will measure 7.5 inches, mark, put in needles like this across, and then cut, and then do my heel. And then I will have a cute pair of socks. This is from a set. There were these sock sets from Lavender Loon, my friend in Minnesota. And it was part of her lunar phase something. There's like a yarn, like a surprise yarn kit where it was kind of based on these certain colors. And she would send you sock kits every month. Lunar Fade, maybe it was called. And so I had a couple of those. I think I have one more set left that I can make, but I thought this was kind of a fun combination of different colors and kind of different colors for me, but these will make a really fun, simple set of socks. So I was excited to get that made. And then I have some stripy ones coming up that I need to finish in my sock bag, but it was good to kind of tackle that and see that it really doesn't take that long. And if I have an hour or, just a shorter amount of time, this is a good project to fill that time. I have been knitting my 1999 sweater, and I did get past the pink into the green, which I chose the Kelly green. And I was like, this is getting weird maybe. I couldn't tell, but I think I'm just gonna trust the colors of the original Gap sweater. And so now I'm up to Pear, which is a different yellow than this lemon yellow up here. It's getting into this weird bright section, which I was a little bit, not nervous, but I was like, is this gonna be odd? Like right here, I think is where it's gonna hit, but I think it's good. Next is gonna be like a royal blue after this. And so, I wish I had it right here, but I don't. But I think it's gonna work. I'm excited to see this. Like when I did the pink, I was like, I don't know. And then I did the green and I was like, I really don't know. And then I'm just gonna keep going. And I think once it's all together, it's this weird mix of colors and you just mash it up and go for it. So I'm just gonna keep going. These stripes go really fast and it's just super fun. I just wanna bust it out so I can get to the sleeves and do the whole thing and then try it on because I'm excited to see what this looks like. And this is a pattern I wrote called 1999. I do have it sized for babies and kids and adults, so that's gonna be fun. And I'll get this out on Ravelry at least by this fall. So I need to get going on this. Other than that, I have been knitting a little bit on the sleeves of my Tinda sweater, which is cream with the red color work. I do that here and there, but mostly I've been working on my 1999 and my socks. And I do need to get back to this Tones stripe sweater that is also the 1999 pattern, but I'm doing it in Brooklyn tweed and I'm making the stripes narrower. That's kind of my knitting life right now. It's a little bit much. And then there's some secret design projects I'm also working on and knitting samples for. And I got a fun thing in the mail this week that I cannot show you yet, but I can show you next week from my friends at Madeline Tosh. So I sometimes do design work, like knitting design work for Madeline Tosh, which is so much fun. I love them so much. They're really fun to work with. But I also do a lot of their graphic design stuff, which is also like my favorite because I get to do graphic design, but it's knitting related. So it's the best of both worlds and it's my favorite thing. So this is, I can tell you, it's called Encounters. It is these surprise kits. You can go get these sets. I think you can order them now on the website, but you're not gonna see the contents, I think, until next week. There is patterns that coordinate. I will tell you, it's mini unicorn tails in sets that are such cool colors. I love everything about this. So I got to work on some design stuff with this that I can't explain yet, but maybe one of my favorite graphic design projects ever because it's like all about my favorite thing. And I'll show you next week what it is. But you can go see whatever they're showing on their website on Madeline Tosh. It's these Encounters sets. It's like space and alien themed, that I can say that much. And so I will show you more, like the reveal next week, because I think it's really fun and exciting. I also got this in the mail from I always forget how to say this. It's MIesje Chafer. I'm not saying it right, but she always has really cool fabric projects, and she had these printed fabric patches that I just could not resist for some reason. So I haven't looked at them yet, but it's like a screen printed fabric patch. They're so cute. I could either work this into a quilt or patch some jeans. I haven't decided, but I just got a few of them. This is the first one. Look how cute these are. I love this. This is the next one. I'm obsessed. And this is so funny because I have this fabric, where is it from? Merchant and Mill, sitting downstairs waiting to be a dress. So I have this exact fabric sitting downstairs, but it doesn't have this print on it. And so I got this really cool patch. I think this would be cool on a pair of jeans for me, at least, like on the knee maybe, but these could be worked into other things too. I just thought they were really fun and such a cute idea. So I got 3 of those. I'll put a link to her shop. She is overseas, so it is kind of, shipping can be kind of high, but I thought it was worth it to get these little treasures. I just think they're so much fun. And her Instagram is MIesje Chafer, MIesje Chafer, and full of inspiration and fabric and all different things and color. So super fun. And I just had to get these patches. They're very cool. Next thing is from Degen, who I love everything they do. I love all their like sewn things, their tools and accessories and all the things they sell. And I saw, if you haven't seen yet, Degen has a new like brick and mortar yarn shop. And so I like supporting that whole thing. And I think they just opened, so that's really exciting. But I saw this on their Instagram shop or on their posts. And I love how they wrap in coordinating tissue. It's just a cute little triangular pouch. I love the little colorful zipper. And I just need a little notions pouch to throw in my bag to keep track of my stuff. So I thought I'm just gonna get that. And I love Degen. I love the Degen patterns. I wanna make the eyeball sweater. I have a pattern for the kite shawl and that one with the flowers that a lot of people have knitted. But I just thought this was so cute. Look how cute this is. And it's just a fun shape. And I'm excited to put my little notions in there and throw it in my bag. One last little thing in the mail that I got from my friends at Purl Soho. I don't know if you saw last week that they posted their cotton dishcloths in all these bright colors, and they're all geometric and so cool. And I kind of freaked out over the dishcloths. It's in their Chirp cotton, and the colors are amazing. And they come in sets of 4. You can kind of pick your color scheme. There's like cool and warm and reds and blues and whatever. So I saw one that I really liked and ordered it. Always comes with a cute little postcard. So yes, I got the mint citrus set. Like, how perfect is that name? It is 100% Peruvian Pima cotton, light worsted DK weight. This is cotton Chirp, presented in winsome little 25-gram mini balls as brilliant as a flock of tropical birds. Cotton Chirp invites you on a cheerful exploration of color. So they come in really cute color sets. And then this is the washcloth itself is called the Knit and Purl washcloth. So it's like a washcloth. It could be a dishcloth. It could be a face cloth. It can be whatever you want. But I'm planning on making mine for my kitchen. I don't know if you've seen my kitchen. Sometimes I show a little bit of it, but I have this exact color yellow cupboards from IKEA on the top. And then it's color blocked with some white ones as well. So it's like yellow, white, and then white below, and then gray countertop. Anyway, this fits my color scheme very well. Go on a cheerful exploration of color with our beginner-friendly Knit and Purl washcloth pattern. You'll mix and match 25-gram balls of our winsome cotton Chirp yarn, blah, blah, blah. It's machine washable and dryable. And I think this makes, one bundle is enough to make 4 washcloths, and you just mix and match for the borders and the little I-cord loop, which is so cute. This is so fun. So Everyone will enjoy the feeling of cotton chirp and its amazing colors, but beginner knitters will get a kick out of the fact that the alternating one knit stitch with one purl stitch creates both the ribbed border and the main seed stitch part of the washcloth. Why? Even expert knitters can marvel at that. So it's really fun for any knitter, and just combining the colors I think is really fun. So I'm excited to make some washcloths. I do want to open this up and feel the cotton chirp because I don't have this yet, so I'm excited to knit with this. Okay, these skeins are such a cute little size. Look at how cute these are. Cotton chirp is like the perfect name. It's like little babies, little bird babies. It's not, but it is. It's like little baby chicks or something. Okay, the yarn itself is so nice and round and so soft. This isn't gonna be like the scratchy cotton at all that hurts your hands. This is nice cotton. Okay, let's read the colors. This is yellow parakeet and golden honey. It's so cute. This is chartreuse yellow, of course. Look how cute. And then pale celadon. I love that minty color. Okay, this is gonna be so much fun. I cannot wait to make some little dishcloths for my kitchen. It'll be so cute. I feel like I've got all these cute little like coordinating things, but these are really fun. If you need like a little gift for a knitting friend, I think one of these little sets would be really fun as a gift, and they're very affordable. And then you can make someone some dishcloths or washcloths. It's just such a cool idea, and it's such a good summer project. So yeah, go see my friends at Purl Soho because they're awesome. I think that's it for this kind of stuff. I'm gonna go cut out my top pieces out of this dress and see if I can sew this together and get something done tomorrow. And if I can, that update will be next. Okay, I got my top pieces cut out. This fabric feels so nice. It's like a really soft washed linen with these awesome stripes. But that's definitely the easiest thing I've cut out in a long time. Like the tote bags had so many pieces. The dress is just kind of long and big, and then the tie and just getting it square and, you know, matching. But this was really simple to cut out. And again, this is the top pattern from the Active Sewing that I'm using just to make a very simple t-shirt out of this awesome Ace and Jig fabric. And I'm very impressed with myself for deciding to do this because there was definitely a time when I never would have considered cutting up a dress to make something that I would really want to wear. I just would never cut into a finished piece, but I know this is like A, not my size, B, not my style, very open up here, which I never ever do. But I really, really, really want a top in this fabric, so I'm making it happen, and I'm so excited that I know how now. I'm confident enough that I can pull this off and it's going to turn out cute, and I'm really excited to get this done. It is a little oversized, it's a little bit big, and then I folded up where the hem was so that I can just sew that right back on once I've sewn the whole thing together, so it's still ready to go. It's like all pressed and nicely, like, you know, pressed. So I'm gonna go sew this together. I do like the one dress I made where they ask you to serge the edges first and then you can press them open. I really like how that feels inside, so I think I am gonna do that with this. I feel like one time, a long time ago, I bought some neon yellow serging thread. So if I can find it, I will switch that out just to make this one extra special and perfect, because I think I have neon yellow serging thread somewhere. We'll see. Anyway, I'm really excited about this. Something I've been meaning to do that I really just need to go do is I want to go buy some muslin at Joann Fabrics and trace out the patterns I use over and over again, because now I'm seeing it'd be so much easier. This is all on freezer paper right now that I've traced, but it's kind of slippery. A lot of my other ones, this one's all one piece of freezer paper, but the other ones are taped together and then the tape will unstick. One of them I stapled, which is not ideal and does not work well. But if I had them all in muslin, it'd be so much easier. So I just want to do the Sonia Phillip top, Sonia Phillip dress, the pants, the skirt now that I've made the skirt, And then the waist tie belt that I've made several times with all different dresses just because it is the right length. And what else? The bag, the tote bag pieces. That would be really nice to have in muslin because it's not going to slip and slide around. I know I'm going to make these things again because I'm confident with them now and I really like how they turn out. And so I think I'm going to go get some muslin at some point and just, it'll be a lot better, I think. I am coming to you live from the basement on Thursday morning. If you can hear guitar, that is my daughter practicing. She has a show tonight and my kids are home and they're enjoying their summer. And so if you hear some background noise, that's what that is. But we just survived a very wild night of storms again last night, which we're so over it. We just got our power back. So I'm so excited. So I'm coming to you from the basement. We have electricity. I'm back with my sewing machines, which were still turned on when the power came back on, because that's what I was doing when the power went off and I forgot. So last night was one of like this past 3 days, we've had 2 or 3 storms per day. And I'm talking severe weather where they tell you to take shelter, hurry. It's like the red warnings, you know, on the Weather Channel, and the red, we're always in the red of the storm. There's just been so many of these per day. A couple of days ago, we got hail. We've had torrential rains, horrible winds, just very destructive stuff. And each time you dodge some damage or something happening around your neighborhood, you're just like, whew, we made it through another one. And they sound so scary because things are falling and flying and it's just like really stressful, honestly. So last night, it was around 7 or 8 p.m. and Lotus was out and she drives, she's a teenager, and we were like, okay, you need to get home. And so she's driving home, and right before she gets here, my neighbor's tree falls, a big one, across our entire street, blocking our street and blocking like almost to our driveway. She was like right behind this happening. So luckily this tree did not fall on her because that is her path. And so she turns to our street and she's like, guys, I can't get through. There's a tree. We heard the tree fall in here and the power had gone off and we were down here. So we hadn't seen outside that the tree was right there and that she was stuck on the other side of it. So we got her around, got her home. So happy to have everybody home safe, but it was nuts. It was super windy again. Just another strong storm and got some big branches down, but this tree was major. And so we're off of a road where people turn onto our street a lot from a busy road. And so they had to go block that off with like police vehicles and stuff until they could get crews out. And the crews worked here all night on the tree with chainsaws, like 3 a.m, chainsaws. And we had all the windows open because it's very hot. And we're trying to cool down the house overnight. Because usually when we lose power like this, with a tree down right by us, it takes a couple days to get power back, but we have power today, which I'm so grateful for. They restored it really fast and they were out there all night, literally working the whole night through this morning with like chainsaws and boom trucks and, you know, fixing the power line and all the stuff and getting the tree off the road. It's like, I'm so tired of these storms and we just keep having them and I just need a break. But anyway, it was funny to come down after the lights come on and you're like, okay, all the basement lights are on, my sewing machines are on. I was mid-hem on my Ace and Jig top over here. And that's what I was working on when the power went off. And I don't even know. Grateful we're safe. We're fine. It's just, I don't know. Every time we go through this, it's just a stressful situation. So anyway, I'm going to finish my Ace and Jig top and go try it on and then do all the other things we have going on today. Here is my Ace and Jig hem. It's so clean and nice and it's looking so good. And this is exactly where I stopped last night when the power went out. But I'm so excited to try this on. I think it's looking really nice. I was going to try to keep that original hem from the dress that I cut, but then I realized when I ripped out the hem, which I had to do, it left some little holes and some marks and it was too long. So I just made a brand new clean, fresh hem and I made it a little bit thick so it has some weight to it because this is a kind of a thinner fabric. It's not really linen. I don't know what it is. It's like a washed, it's really soft. It has a nice flow to it, but it's not thick and heavy like my IKEA upholstery fabric. So anyway, I'm making this hem. And that's the last step on this top, and then I can go try it on and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, This is officially my dream top. Here it is. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I'm really happy with the length of it and the way the fabric lays. It's kind of a softer, flowier, not linen, but maybe a linen cotton woven. I'm not sure what it is, but definitely more drapey than my IKEA fabrics I've been using. I'm so happy. I can raise my arms and it doesn't go up. I think I nailed the length, honestly. And I made a little bit thicker hem that is like a triple fold to give it some weight so it hangs straight. I think I nailed the placement for once with my fabric cutting. So I had that skirt laid out. There is a couple seams, I'll talk about that in a minute, and they're in the back, but they are sewn into the dress pattern, so you cannot see them. They're in the green. The front is completely flat with no seams at all. So the back piece it's there, but you cannot tell, and I can't feel them at all from the original dress. But I think I really centered it nicely where my sleeves match, and this goes right down the center, this nice little center stripe with the, you know, it's centered. I couldn't exactly match the back because of the way the skirt was made in the dress, and so it does have an opposite. You can't really tell, but you know what I mean? Like the yellow and the natural go the other way, and I didn't perfectly center it, but it's fine. It's very close. It's close enough for me. It is the way it turned out, and I love it. I made the neck a little bit smaller and a little bit higher than the pattern, and the pattern is the top pattern from the Act of Sewing. These tops go really low and kind of wide, and that kind of bugs me, so I made this go in a little bit so it sits up and it doesn't like show my bra straps. And I love it, and it's perfect. I'm so happy about it, and I'm gonna wear it a lot. And I did just an interfacing here and then a deeper one in the back that's more of a, you know, crescent shape. What else? I serged all the inside seams. It's real nice. I didn't have the neon yellow. I just used my regular yellow, but it all worked out really good, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so glad I didn't mess it up because I just had one chance and one, you know, cut of fabric to make this work. Although there is still a lot of fabric left, and I almost wonder if I could squeeze out a tank, like a real simple boxy tank out of the rest. I'll have to go look. The other idea is like with the sleeves, I could totally make a set of towels or napkins, but I kind of want towels out of that because it's good rectangle shapes. So I'll go see what else I can make with this, but I am so excited that I got this perfect tee out of that dress. And that is all I have to say about that. That is all I have for this week. Thank you for hanging out here with me. I upload a new video every Saturday morning, so check back next week to see what I'm up to then. It might be at State Fair time or maybe the following week. So check back soon, and we have State Fair updates, and we'll see what happened with our entries. Thank you so much for all your comments and tips and feedback. I love, love, love reading through all of that. Like and subscribe if you feel like it. It really does help out my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.